It's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got no money. You ain't got no. Have you guys ever watched that movie? Hmm. So, as usual, we're gonna rock until we're 1 minute in, and that's when we're gonna start this live thing. Now, I know as people are usually very awkward at the beginning of their lives. I'm always wondering, well, okay, why am I listening to this person sing for 1 minute before the live starts? Now, that's me. Could not be bothered to get myself together. What's important is the message. So, we're 1 minute in. Oh, sorry about that. We're 1 minute in and we're going to get right into it. Hello, guys. My name is Dipuka Malabore, known on this platform as Barbs because Barbara is my first name, but I do prefer to be called Dipuka because it is a better representation of the woman she is. So, hi. This evening, we're going to be talking about my Christian journey. We're going to be talking about how this happened and how it's been going. Um, so, I think my Christian journey started properly this year around, oh, actually, the beginning of this year. I remember New Year's Eve. Actually, let's take it a bit before that. I had been going to church like very passively. Um, I'd ensure that maybe once a month I'd go to church. And I used to go to my family church, which is the UCCSA domination. It's is it domination? Is it Protestant domination? But I shouldn't even be confused because I took the classes in April. But yes, I was a part of UCCSA. Um, and that is where I got baptized in April. So, um, I'd always been going to UCCSA very kind of actively. I don't want to say very, but kind of actively since 2023. Like I said, I'd ensure that I go here and there once a month. I would go to either the 10:30 or the 12:30 service. I was always this person that said that if I can at least show up at 12:30, if your church can give me a service at 12:30, I'm gonna show up because I'm not an early morning riser, but that's not what's important. So, um, what happened was New Year's Eve, I was like, I want to go to church. And I had two options to either go to a New Year's Eve like bash event or go to church. And my partner was like, I think you should go to church. Like, you've wilded out this December, and I really think that you might like going to church is a good option. So I went to an all night prayer event, a revival, with one of my close friends. She goes to Bible Life. I mean, does she still go to Bible Life? Yeah, she goes to Bible Life. Her and I went together, and it was a very little cute moment, my friend and I. And I basically, that was my first all night. For many years, I've been telling myself that I'm going to go for an all night revival for New Year's Eve, but I never got around to it. So I did this one with my friend, and it was a very good moment. It was beautiful. And following that, I decided to get very serious about my journey with God. I don't know, it's like I had a light bulb moment where I was like, I've been calling myself a Christian, I've been calling myself a baby Christian, I've been trying to read the Bible um, semi casually, but I want to be serious and devote my life and dedicate my life to Christ. And the funny thing is, I had always known that there was gonna come a time where I was gonna leave the world and devote my life to Christ. That was something that I've always known, and I don't like saying this because it makes it sound like I decided to have fun, and then because I knew that at some point I would now give my life to Christ and like my life wouldn't be like that anymore. So that's why I don't like saying that. But the truth is, that's kind of like what happened. Um, I was I lived in the world. I went to the parties. We had. I'm struggling with saying the other part, but yeah, fornicated, drank, all of those things until such a time where I was like, I just want to give my life to God, bro, and I want to change my life. So I also decided to become celibate. On top of becoming celibate, one of the things that I decided to do going into the new year was to not drink alcohol. Because I was just like, I want to see what will happen if I don't drink alcohol going into the new year. Um, I sort of made a promise to God that, okay, God, if you can make something happen, okay, I'm joking. Because I'm joking. But I was like, God, I just really want to see what will happen. Like, let's just call this an experiment. If I can um, also, I had a problem with the fact that my memory wasn't the best, and I really attributed it to my drinking. So I was like, if I can just quit drinking for a year, maybe my memory will be better, my capacity will be better. So yeah, that's what happened. So January, February, I decided to start classes at my family church, the confirmation classes to like be an official member of the congregation. Started around February, I think. And in April, we got confirmed and baptized. And it was a very beautiful day. It was a very emotional day for me because I was like, man, I got baptized. Um, I don't think I have to get into details whether it was sprinkling or immersion. At our family church we do sprinkling. I know that some people feel like if you've been like sprinkle baptism isn't real baptism, but it's about acknowledging that Jesus Christ is your yeah, died for our sins on the cross and his grand sacrifice. It's not about whether you are immersed in water, whether it's like um, a whole performance or whatever. It's not important. But anyway, um, few months later, I joined a church known as Kingdom City, and that is where I fellowship now. And I really enjoy that church. I really love it. But this has been a long story. I've really enjoyed being a Christian. It's one of the things that truly has made my life feel different. And I'm here to tell you that everything that they say about being a Christian in the Bible is true. It's very isolating. It makes you hypersensitive. It makes you hyper self-aware. Um, and you just become very cautious about the things you say and the things you do. And I was telling a friend earlier actually that this journey has actually also made me have, I don't know if I can call it cognitive dissonance or just dissonance, in that it makes me second guess almost everything. Like I can make a decision and then I'll be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have done this. And then I'm like, okay, but what about this and this and this? And then I'm like, oh my God, God is going to come and strike me down. Then I'm like, oh, but me, this is just me sometimes with some of my decisions. And it's sometimes quite frustrating. But um, this is not in a bid to scare anybody or make anybody feel like it's not worth it, because it truly is worth it. I was telling a friend of mine yesterday that I wish everybody could experience it, because it literally feels like God has cracked open your skull and touched your brain, and um, in him doing that, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you cracked open your skull and has touched your brain, and you feel all of his love and his forgiveness and his kindness over your life, and you're no longer filled with shame, even if you've done like some crazy things in your past. Um, when you truly when you go to a church that one is not one of those that just like, I don't know, like makes people, that weaponizes Christianity, one of those, when you go to one of those churches that actually makes Christianity about loving God more than Christianity, when it makes it about the relationship, where it makes it more about the spirituality versus the religion, I think you truly get to experience the love of God, and it's truly freeing, especially if, for instance, you come from a household where you don't have one parent. Maybe you don't have you grew up without your father, maybe you grew up without your mother, or maybe your family is dysfunctional. um, Becoming a Christian is truly one of the most beautiful experiences, because it really, when they say that God is the number one father and he's the father to the fatherless, they truly mean it. I think one of the things that I actually realized, or that I noticed, is that when I truly started taking my Christianity, sorry, my neck feels under pressure. When I truly started taking my Christianity seriously this year, the emptiness that I once felt, that came from growing up without a father, I don't think I feel it anymore. It's not one of the things that I even talk about or think about as much as I used to. Like, I used to brand myself as a what's it called, as a fatherless young woman, but now it's something that really doesn't matter to me, and it's not something that's a part of my identity. And that's the beauty of experiencing God's love. You no longer feel like you lack certain things. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm gonna leave it for now. I'm gonna get into more details the next few days. That's when we can talk about how I have managed to remain kind of disciplined. Not kind of, I think I've been doing a really good job at remaining disciplined. It's been a whole year of me consistently going to church. I mean, it's November, but the year might as well be over. It's been a whole year of me consistently going to church, praying, reading the Bible. I've read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. What else? What's after Matthew? Yeah, I've read Timothy. I've read Titus. I've read Genesis. I've read, um, because there's a specific way that you read the Bible. I mean, according to these, I don't know, these guides that you find on the internet. Yeah, I've read Genesis. I've read Exodus. I'm sorry, I know it from the New Testament. The Old Testament, I'm still learning it. Yeah, so I've read Genesis. I've read Exodus. I've read Leviticus. I've read Deuteronomy. Like, I really like mimicking people from the US that say Deuteronomy instead of Deuteronomy. I've read Exodus, I've read Leviticus, I've read Numbers, I've read Deuteronomy, and I'm currently, oh, I just finished Joshua, and I am now on, so on Judges. I'm now on Judges. And right now, what I'm doing is sort of just like reading, and the next couple of years, like after I finish reading, casually, like, I don't want to say casually, but after I finish reading, that's when I'm gonna go into full studying, where you're gonna see this whole thing highlighted with sticky notes, if not a new Bible, because this is a teenager's Bible, FYI. And now I'm talking too much. Things I could be talking about tomorrow, I'm talking about now, but let me stop here and say thank you so much for watching our first intro video. I'm gonna get into more details tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for listening and staying with me. Um, Please stay tuned for tomorrow's, where I will be talking more about this Bible and how I've been, like I said, been able to remain disciplined for the past year. And yeah, it hasn't felt like much. It hasn't felt like much work, but thank you so much, and goodbye.